Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in Maharashtra today, where he kick-started the BJP's campaign for this crucial Assembly state election. Remember, dates for the Maharashtra Assembly haven't been announced yet, but this will happen soon after Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. The Prime Minister apologized for the Sindhudurg incident, where a statue of Shivaji Maharaj came apart. Charges were leveled of corruption in the manner in which the statue was made. Prime Minister Modi said he was a Shivaji Bhakt and that he was terribly sad about what happened. The opposition is railing against the government, saying that the corruption that went into the statue is really evidence of all that's wrong with the way Maharashtra has been run by the current Eknath Shinde Sena.
मेरे आराध्य देव छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की उनके चरणों में मस्तक रख के माफी मांगता हूं.
Prime Minister Modi apologizing for the collapse of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's statue in Maharashtra's Sindhudurg district.
मेरे लिए छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज ये सिर्फ नाम नहीं है. हमारे लिए छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज ये सिर्फ राजा महाराजा राजपुरुष मात्र नहीं है. हमारे लिए छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज आराध्य देव है. और मैं आज सर झुका करके मेरे आराध्य देव छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की उनके चरणों में मस्तक रख के माफी मांगता हूं.
The 35-foot statue of the 17th century Maratha warrior king collapsed on Monday, less than 9 months after it was unveiled by the Prime Minister. In Palghar, to lay the foundation of one of India's biggest sports, the Vadhavan project, the Prime Minister also hit out at Rahul Gandhi.
हमारे संस्कार अलग है. हम वो लोग नहीं हैं जो आए दिन भारत मां के महान सपूत इसी धरती के लाल वीर सावरकर को अनाप शनाप गालियां देते रहते हैं, अपमानित करते रहते हैं. देशभक्तों की भावनाओं को कुचलते हैं. वीर सावरकर को गालियां देने के बावजूद भी माफी मांगने को जो तैयार नहीं है, महाराष्ट्र की जनता उनके संस्कार को अब जान ले.
The collapse of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj's statue in Maharashtra's Sindhudurg district has triggered a big political storm. Months before the state heads to polls, the statue collapse has become an issue of Maratha pride. Under fire, Maharashtra Chief Minister has also apologized again.
छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज जी तो हमारे लिए भगवान है, ईश्वर है, देवता है. उनके सामने, उनके चरणों पर एक बार नहीं 100 बार माथा टेकने के लिए हम तैयार हैं. उसमें हमें कोई कमी नहीं महसूस होगी, क्योंकि उनके ही आदर्श पर इस राज्य का कारोबार शुरू है.
Shinde's deputy Ajit Pawar was on ground for a statue check.
मागही आवाहन केलेलं आहे की ह्याच्या पूर्णपणे डीप मध्ये जाऊन जे कोणी दोषी असेल त्यांच्यावर त्या ठिकाणी कारवाई केली जाईल. पळून पळून कुठं जाणार आहे? महाराष्ट्राच्या तर बाहेर जाऊ शकत नाही किंवा देशाच्या बाहेर जाऊ शकत नाही, तर नाही त्या ठिकाणी शोधलं जाईल आणि त्यांच्याकडनं देखील काय त्यांचं म्हणणं आहे, काय कशा पद्धतीने सगळं झालं.
But the Maha Vikas Aghadi is not buying the apologies. In fact, the opposition has come out all guns blazing, accusing the BJP Shiv Sena government of corruption.
बहुत बड़ी दुख की बात है. उस निर्माण में बहुत बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है. ये भ्रष्ट सरकार ने छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज को भी नहीं छोड़ा.
शिवाजी महाराज का पुतला फूटना ये महाराष्ट्र के लिए शुभ संकेत नहीं है. ये वार जो हुआ है ये दिल पे हुआ है. महाराष्ट्र पूरा यानी उसका खून खौल रहा है.
प्रधानमंत्री से उद्घाटन करवाना था, एक बड़ा इवेंट करना था, इसलिए 3 साल जिस पुतले को बनाने में लग सकते थे उसको 6 महीने आपने करा दिया और उसकी चोट चुनाव में महायुति के नेताओं को सहन करनी पड़ेगी।
The Maharashtra government has announced plans to install a larger statue at the same site, while the Indian Navy has pledged to expedite efforts to repair and reinstate the statue. Meanwhile, a structural consultant has been arrested in connection with the statue collapse. Bureau Report, India Today.
Meanwhile, all doesn't seem to be well in the Mahayuti, with two major allies, the Shinde Sena and the Ajit Pawar faction, being at loggerheads. The latest flashpoint is a statement by a Shinde Sena minister who claimed that he felt physically sick and wanted to puke after sitting in a meeting with Ajit Pawar and his netas. The question is, can the Mahayuti iron out differences before the polls, or will this bickering cost the alliance when voting happens?
All's not well within the Mahayuti. The BJP, Shiv Sena Shinde faction and NCP Ajit Pawar faction have hit rough weather in the run-up to the crucial assembly elections. In a major embarrassment, Shiv Sena Minister Tanaji Sawant has now said that he never got along with the NCP leadership, and that sitting next to the party leaders in cabinet meetings makes him want to throw up.
काँग्रेस आणि राष्ट्रवादीचं माझं जमलेलं नाही. शिकत असल्यापासून आतापर्यंत ती वास्तव आहे. डायग्नोसिस होत नाही. जसं ॲलर्जी म्हणतोय, गोळी खाली उलट्याला चालवतात, ती अवस्था आहे. कारण ते विचार परिपूर्ण भिडलेले आहेत अंगामध्ये, त्याच्यामुळे ते शक्य आहे. आज जरी आम्ही कॅबिनेटला मांडीला बसलो असलो तरी सुद्धा बाहेर आल्यानंतर उलट्या होतात. ही वस्तुस्थिती सहन होत नाही. ते आता वयाच्या 7व्या वर्षी म्हणून बदलू शकत नाही.
The Maharashtra minister's comment has thrown up a fresh war of words.
ये जो स्थिति है वो राज्य के स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के लिए अच्छी नहीं. उल्टी आना या दूसरा कोई रोग होना ये स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के लिए अच्छी बात नहीं है. महाराष्ट्र के लिए ये शोभा देने वाली बात नहीं है. इनको अच्छे से अच्छे डॉक्टर मुहैया कराया जाए और इनका इलाज कराया जाए. अगर इनके पास कोई अच्छे डॉक्टर नहीं हो तो हम अजीत दादा को बोल के इनको अच्छे से अच्छे डॉक्टर की ट्रीटमेंट करा सकते हैं.
The Sena NCP spat has given more ammunition to the MAHA Gadi. The opposition alliance says that the Mahayuti is headed towards a breakup.
I think the time has come where the BJP is going to slowly but steadily throw Mr. Ajit Pawar out of the Mahayuti. All is not well there. Cracks are getting bigger and bigger by the day. Maybe it is time for Mr. Ajit Pawar to wake up and smell the coffee.
अभी तो बहुत सारी घटनाएं आगे होने वाली है. भुजबल एक तरफ रहते, उनका आधा मंत्रिमंडल एक तरफ रहता है, तो वो भी चल रहा है. तो ये देखिए अब क्या क्या होता है. लेकिन महाराष्ट्र की प्रतिमा मलिन करने का जो पाप जो बीजेपी और उनके साथी लोग कर रहे हैं वो कदापि महाराष्ट्र की जनता सहन नहीं करेगी.
This isn't the first time that alliance differences have come to the fore. It started with the credit war over the Ladli Behna Yojana. While CM Eknath Shinde initiated the scheme before Raksha Bandhan, Deputy CM and Finance Minister Ajit Pawar kicked off Jan Samman Yatra to promote it. Seat sharing in the upcoming state elections is also a big bone of contention. The Eknath Shinde Sena is eyeing a minimum of 100 seats, while Ajit Pawar-led NCP wants at least 80. Recently, a report published in a Marathi weekly linked to the RSS also blamed the alliance with Ajit Pawar for BJP's lackluster performance in the Lok Sabha elections. Can the alliance put its differences aside in time for the state polls? Bureau Report, India Today.
Spend a moment trying to distill what we've seen. You've got a senior minister in the Eknath Shinde Sena coming out on camera saying he wants to puke when he sits next to the NCP in the cabinet. Then you've got workers from Ajit Pawar's party holding a protest against the fall of the statue. And remember, they're part of the same government. So Ajit Pawar's workers protesting across the state because the Shivaji Maharaj statue collapsed, and he's apologized to the people. Now, what's really going on here? Will Ajit Pawar, the BJP, and Eknath Shinde Sena fight this election together? Or are we building up to a zone where it becomes untenable for the Mahayuti to stay in its current form? On the other side, who is in pole position? Because remember, amongst the BJP workers, amongst Sena workers, there was unease with the fact that Ajit Pawar's faction had been co-opted as part of the Mahayuti, the NDA, and therefore they want him out. The BJP at the highest levels would like the alliance to stay because it's now very close to the elections. So what's the current state of play? Who knows better than Rajdeep Sardesai, who's joining me in the studio? This is his home state. He loves the mess his state is in. Sahil Joshi joins us from Mumbai. Amitabh Tiwari's been working with us on different visualizations we're doing for the Data Intelligence Unit. We've got Suzy Ben Shah, spokesperson of the Shinde Sena. With me is Anish Gawande, spokesperson of the NCP Sharad Pawar. Sanju Verma joins us. She's smiling and I wonder why. Rajdeep, what really is at play? Do you think that this is just posturing because they want to be locked in intense seat bargaining negotiations soon? Or are we now reaching a position, because of what we saw in the Lok Sabha, the kind of backlash the NDA had to face in Maharashtra, that it's simply inconceivable that Ajit Pawar and Eknath Shinde can be part of the same ticket?
You know, Rahul, there are various issues. One is Shivaji, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, because he's no longer just a warrior king, he's a deity. So the moment that statue fell, it struck an emotional chord. It was easy for the opposition also to immediately target the government, and the government has been pushed to the defensive to the point where the Prime Minister himself has to come and personally apologize for it. Emotions run high when it comes to Shivaji. That's one part of it. The other part of it, Rahul, is what you just asked about the fact that you have this peculiar situation in Maharashtra where you have six parties across two alliances, and a large amount of incompatibility within the alliance, and particularly at the moment within the Mahayuti. Because you've got Eknath Shinde, who's the chief minister and therefore wants to take a dominant position, and he's heading a government with two deputy chief ministers who technically are more senior to him. Ajit Pawar is senior to him, and so is Devendra Fadnavis. Fadnavis has been a 5-year chief minister. Ajit Pawar has been deputy chief minister on more than one occasion. So there is this jostling for space. There are, at the end of the day, only 288 seats. Who is going to accommodate whom? And there is pressure, particularly from the BJP, to somehow or the other either ease out Ajit Pawar.
No, who in the BJP? I know at the highest levels they'd like the alliance to be as is. The voter may not be happy with having Ajit Pawar. Some local regional satraps may not be happy, but the BJP top brass would like for this alliance to stay.
You mentioned local regional satraps, Rahul, and I think local regional satraps in Maharashtra have a very disproportionate influence over the politics of the state. This is a state with 30-odd districts where every district has 1 or 2 regional satraps battling for control. And this is a Vidhan Sabha election. You see, therefore those regional satraps matter, and many of them who have been aligned to the BJP have in the past taken on Ajit Pawar. I mean, Fadnavis himself took on Ajit Pawar when he was chief minister.
He built a career out of it.
You know, famously said Chakki Pissing, was the one to expose the irrigation scam. All of it has diluted in some way the moral authority and political authority of the BJP.
No, but you haven't answered my question still. Will they stay and fight despite the bickering? Or do you think this is now becoming untenable?
I'm not saying it's becoming untenable, but anything is possible. There are about 6 weeks.
So you're saying there can still be a rupture?
Between now and when the election code of conduct comes, which we believe will be sometime in early October once Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir is over, anything can happen. There is a sizable section of the local BJP which feels that maybe Ajit Pawar is a burden too heavy to carry. At the same time, the arithmetic requires you to have him. You can't just, ease out Ajit Pawar. Arithmetically, you require him. The chemistry is not working. And I think that's the
And you've got a clash now, Sahil Joshi. On the one side, the national top leadership would like Ajit Pawar to be part of the Mahayuti. The local leaders, the voters, the workers, unhappy. Do you think that they can keep fighting, bickering and stay as part of the same ticket? Or do you think it kind of builds up to a point where there's a rupture and a break apart?
Well, the situation has become really interesting, and Ajit Pawar being part of this Mahayuti, the first it was red flagged by the RSS mouthpiece organizer when Ratan Sharda wrote that article and clearly mentioned that how Ajit Pawar being part of Mahayuti has damaged Mahayuti's prospects in the Lok Sabha elections. The second attack happened in RSS's Marathi weekly called Vivek, and they filed a big reportage speaking to various BJP workers and finally came to the conclusion that how it affected the image of the BJP as well as the Prime Minister Modi. So now what has happened is that after that there was a meeting between the BJP core committee members and the RSS Pranta Pracharak and various RSS leaders in Mumbai. They discussed why, why the reasons behind the defeat, and finally it was conveyed to them that we have to keep Ajit Pawar with us. Now that what the situation has become, now that they are approaching the elections, is that in Hindi there is a saying called "Aage kuwa piche khai." Forward is the well, behind is the ditch. Why I am saying that? Ideally speaking, it makes sense for the Mahayuti right now to ditch Ajit Pawar, make him contest as a third partner. I mean, Tisri Agadi, what we call in Marathi, the third front, which will split into the Mahavikas Agadi vote, because Ajit Pawar thinks that because he was associated with BJP and Shiv Sena, his secular votes, that is the Dalit and the Muslim votes, ditched him, and that is the reason why his performance was not up to the mark. So if he contests as a third front, it will he may eat into the the Mahavikas Agadi votes, and it helps BJP Shiv Sena. Also, it eases out the seat sharing between the BJP and the Shiv Sena. But on the other hand, what the BJP leaders also feel is that if they ditch, if they ask Ajit Pawar to move out of the alliance, it will again impact their image as the alliance partner, that the BJP a lot of times use the alliance partner and then throw them out. So, they cannot leave Ajit Pawar. If they want to keep Ajit Pawar, there are going to be issues within Mahayuti when it comes to the seat sharing. The BJP wants to have the maximum number of seats out of 288. In 2019, BJP contested almost 161 seats because they also, made their alliance partners, the smaller alliance partners, to contest on their BJP symbol. So they want at least those many of seats. Please understand, in Lok Sabha, BJP contested more number of seats than they used to contest till 2014. So this time, the BJP, to retain their number of seats they won in 2019, they want to contest at least those many of seats.
So you're saying it's muscle flexing and bickering, that there will be a split isn't confirmed, but it's getting messy. It's really, really messy. I want to ask Susie Ben Shah, because you're part of the Shinde Sena. You've got Sanju Verma on this broadcast, and you're supposed to be working together. In the midst of all of this, despite the BJP top leadership saying we have to keep Ajit Pawar part of the same ticket, Tanaji Sawant and other senior leaders in Maharashtra coming out and saying we are feeling stifled, we feel like we want to vomit. So what's at play here? Is this just one health minister saying this in his individual capacity, or is he reflecting views, as it says over there, of hardcore Shiv Sainiks who want Ajit Pawar out?
A very good evening to all and all your viewers. I would just like to talk about Shivaji Maharaj. I would just like to remind everyone that...
Why don't you answer my question, ma'am? I'll come to Shivaji in just a moment. Answer my question. Is this just one minister, Tanaji Sawant, speaking, or is he reflecting a larger thought in your party that wants Ajit Pawar out?
As of today and always till the election, the Mahayuti is firmly on the saddle. I heard the various permutation and combinations by Mr. Sardesai as well as Mr. Sahil Joshi. Nothing of that is going to work. Our decision makers are our Honorable Chief Minister Eknath Raoji Shinde, our Deputy Minister Devendra Fadnavis ji, and Ajit Pawar. Three of them together make decisions, will have seat sharing, and everything will be all right. Tanaji Sawant, yes, he shouldn't have said it. It does spoil the atmosphere and the dharma of the coalition government. But I'm sure that it is his personal feeling, and Eknath Raoji will definitely pay heed to it, and everything will be...
Okay, so you're saying this is his personal view, but Sanju Verma, this is very messy.
Because you've got Ajit Pawar's workers protesting across the state. I'm coming back to you, Susie Ben, I'm coming back to you. You've got Ajit Pawar's workers protesting across the state because a Shivaji Maharaj statue has come down. You've got the opposition saying that in the collapse of this statue is proof of all that's wrong with the way Maharashtra has been run of late. And you've got your ally minister saying that somebody who's supposed to be a co-ally, the Ajit Pawar faction, makes him want to puke. Is this all, if we join all of this together, is it to suggest that all's not well in the Mahayuti?
Rahul, I can see that Rajdeep has vanished from the panel that I can see. Since he gave such a long monologue, I just want to tell him in Marathi, "Tumi Bhajapacha ittaka dvesh ka karta, Rajdeep?" Anyway, be that as it may, let me come to the moot point. You've spoken about how there is possibly, the Ajit Pawar and Tanaji Sawant camp at loggerheads with each other. I would like to draw the attention of your good self and your colleague Sahil Joshi to a letter written to K.C. Venugopal and to Mallikarjun Kharge by at least 18 prominent Congress members, amongst whom these are some of the few names. Bear with me for 10 seconds. Congress Working Committee member in Mumbai, Chandrakant Handore, Janardhan Chandurkar, Bhai Jagtap, Naseem Khan, Suresh Shetty, Madhu Chavan, Charan Singh Sapra, Zakir Ahmed, and Maharashtra Congress Treasurer Amarjit Manhas and Nana Patole. What have these people written to K.C. Venugopal? They have said, we are very unhappy with the current Congress president in Mumbai, Varsha Gaikwad. She is unable to handle the current state of affairs. Most senior leaders cannot see eye to eye when it comes to Varsha Gaikwad because she is doing her own thing, running the party unilaterally. But I don't see anybody from, should I say, Godi media or PD media saying, "Arey bhai, Congress mein to halchal mach gayi hai," because Varsha Gaikwad has seen her own party members up in arms against her. They're raising the ante against her. But people will talk about the perceived problem between Ajit Pawar versus Eknath Shinde versus Devendra Fadnavis, what have you. So let me say this, come election time, you will see these murmurs, these rumblings about internal dissensions, but it is up to the party's top leadership to rein dissenting elements without compromising the party's broader interests.
So you are saying that these are
the BJP is doing.
Sole dissenting members, it's not the larger view, it's just one person speaking. Anish Gawande, there are enough and more things that are wrong with the manner in which the MVA is run as well. There is bickering, we know, within the Congress, outside the Congress. There are problems, and therefore the point that Sanju Verma makes is that this is a one-off, it will be dealt with, and as she cited in your party as well, there are letters being written against the Mumbai Congress chiefs. She's saying all this is fair and war at a time of elections.
But Rahul, this isn't a one-off, right? I think the unfortunate reality is that the statue incident is one of many incidences that has shown the complete political disarray of the Mahayuti government in Maharashtra. This time, when the statue collapsed, I'm grateful to the Prime Minister because he apologized. He showed political maturity. But in Maharashtra, you're seeing absolute and complete political immaturity. The Chief Minister, Eknath Shinde ji, said that the strong winds blew the statue away. They blew an entire statue away, but not a single tree in Sindhudurg. Then the Deputy Chief Minister, Devendra Fadnavis ji, said that the Navy should be blamed for this. And then the third person, the other Deputy Chief Minister, Ajit Pawar ji, held a silent protest against his own government. This is a sign of absolute breakdown of communication.
So Sahil, who is actually to blame? I was studying the sequence of events. It seems Chetan Patil, who's a structural engineer, has been named in the FIR, along with a contractor, Jaideep Apte. The Public Works Department says the Navy was in a hurry to complete the statue, which was supposed to open on Navy Day, December 4, 2023. So who really is to blame? Is the Navy to blame? Is the Public Works Department to blame? Are individual contractors and structural engineers to blame? Who really is to blame for the statue falling?
And who was the apology for?
No, I think whoever was taking the credit to build that particular statue on the Navy Day should be blamed for it, because first of all, the the art director of the Maharashtra government, who was supposed to pass whether that particular statue can be erected there or not, had only given permission to build a statue of 6 feet. But somebody changed his decision and erected that 28 feet statue there, 35 feet almost. So, so the whole system needs to be blamed who was taking the credit for building that particular statue, because that statue was built within 3 months of time. This in September, month of September, this contract was given, and in month of December 2023, That statue was inaugurated by the Prime Minister when he was visiting there for the Navy Day celebration. So, it has come as a blow to this government, because the government was trying to build its image with this Ladli Behna scheme. And then suddenly, one after the other, the incidences are happening that, nobody's talking about the scheme at this point of time, even if they have transferred 3,000 rupees in the accounts of almost 1.5 crore women in Maharashtra. But everybody is talking about the incidents in Badlapur and also the collapse of the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj statue.
Rahul, okay.
So, to ask yeah.
So,
yes,
you have a narrative that the Mahayuti was trying to build around the Ladli Behna scheme, and then suddenly you've got the rape incident and now the statue falling, which draws attention to what all is going wrong. I want to spend a moment with Amitabh Tiwari on a strength scanner of Maharashtra. Now remember, this is complicated by the fact that both the Sena and the NCP have split. But I'll show you at the starting baseline where Maharashtra stands. And the strength scanner is always important because it gives you a sense of how many seats which party will think they're in contention on. So let's go through that right now. So the BJP is weak in Maharashtra on 140 seats, where it hasn't won in either won or fought in any election in the last 3 elections. So that's about half the assembly. The BJP is very strong on 24 seats. Very strong are seats which you won in every election over the last 3 elections. The Shiv Sena is very strong on just 12 seats, the NCP on 16, the Congress on 18, which essentially means that Maharashtra has a very high churn, that the very few seats as a percentage of the overall assembly where parties can claim, ye to hamari seat hai pakki. Very few. Just 18 for the Congress, 16 for the NCP, and now these will get split between the two factions, and 12 for the Shiv Sena, which again will get split, and 24 for the BJP. Now, the BJP can consider it strong on 77 seats. Now, 77 is where they won in 2 elections out of the last 3 elections. So, about 100 seats the BJP can roughly feel that, okay, these are very good fights from a BJP perspective. The Shiv Sena has 50 such seats, but that's the overall Shiv Sena, not the fractured Shiv Sena. The NCP has about 43 such seats, but again, that's the overall Shiv Sena. The Congress, where it's strong and very strong, is about 44. But I want to spend a moment with Amitabh Tiwari, because while the numbers for the Congress and the BJP will stay as is, what complicates Maharashtra is the fact that the NCP and the Shiv Sena have now split, and therefore interpreting the strength scanner by itself is far more complex than it would be in a state where the alliances roughly remain the same. Here, the whole apple cart of Maharashtra politics has been upturned by all these switches in the alliances.
Yeah, so essentially now instead of 4, we have 6 parties. So as you said, BJP is strong or very strong on roughly 100 seats and Congress on 44, 45. Now, if we see if we analyze the election results of 2024, as per my analysis, it seems that the NCP Sharad Pawar faction held almost 75% of its original vote share. So the NCP vote share has been split 3/4, 1/4 between Sharad Pawar and Ajit Pawar. However, if we look at Shiv Sena, the Shiv Sena split is 57-43, which means the Eknath Shinde faction is doing relatively much better than Ajit Pawar in terms of holding on to the support base which the original party had. One of the problems which Ajit Pawar faced is primarily that the NCP has almost 1/4 vote share coming from the Muslim community, which did not transfer to Ajit Pawar faction, and that's why their numbers were fairly poor. Now, if you analyze the 2024 results further, though on the face of it, it looks to be a very one-sided election with 30 seats going to MVA and 17 to Mahayuti, the vote shares were equal, 44% each. On 15 seats, the victory margin was less than 5%. 9 won by MVA, 6 won by Mahayuti or the NDA. And in terms of assembly segments, the MAHA Vikas Agadi was leading on 154, 146 or 145 is the majority, whereas NDA was leading in 127. So the elections were fairly close than what it appears on the outside. As Rajdeep ji said, both the alliances do not have the chemistry, but they are forced by arithmetic to keep Shiv Sena UBT on the MVA side and Ajit Pawar.
So let me ask you this question. Will the BJP Eknath Shinde alliance be better off without Ajit Pawar or with them?
No. See, essentially, arithmetically, BJP Shiv Sena alliance, if we compare with original alliance, now does not have this 57% support which Uddhav Thackeray now has from the chunk of Shiv Sena vote share. So this vote share has to be replaced by somebody. That is why it had brought on Ajit Pawar faction, so that he has half of the support of NCP, and then you reach the original level. See, the genesis of the problem in Maharashtra is that BJP, which was the number 4 party in 2009 in terms of vote share, has become the number 1 party today. And that has created ripples and confusion.
So you're basically saying that even if they don't like each other, they have no option but to suffer each other and fight it together.
Yeah, essentially, I mean, both the alliances need to hold on to the alliances, do a fair distribution of seats, and ensure that the rebellion is minimal. Because
okay, Sanju Verma, you want to respond to the point that Sahil was making about how this is also about, while of course it's about data, it's about arithmetic, it's also about, chemistry, it's also about narratives. You had the Ladli Behin scheme narrative where you were sending money into women's accounts, then Badlapur happened, now the statue, and suddenly it seems that the Hawa may have turned the other way once again, and this is really brought to the fore challenges which your government and the state faces, ma'am.
Rahul, I will address each of the issues that you put forth. First and foremost, let's be very clear. Since 2014, when Narendra Modi became Prime Minister for the first time, Hawa badal rahi hai is what the opposition and its retainers and darbaris have been saying each time Rahul Gandhi shows even a whiff of resurrection. So I'm not taking, what the Congress darbaris have to say very seriously, but I'll just tell you something which should set the tone of the debate going forward. Let's be very clear, whether you like it or you don't, the Mazi Ladki Behan Yojana on the lines of the Ladli Behan Yojana in Madhya Pradesh has in Maharashtra hit the magical figure of 1.5 crore beneficiaries who are currently benefiting to the tune of receiving 1,500 rupees every month. The Yuva Prasakshan Yojana, which is a skill development oriented project and not just another dole out or a SOP, where you're giving youngsters, if they achieve certain milestones, 10,000 rupees a month. That is also a stellar success. But the very important thing, which media has conveniently forgotten, you talk of Badlapur. Have you forgotten 22 men, including Shiv Sena, as in erstwhile Uddhav Sena councillors, and some of them have been convicted, mind you, raped a 15-year-old girl in Mahabaleshwar, tab media ke muh mein fevicol jam gaya tha. 44 men raped a 12-year-old girl in Dombivli. Uddhav Sena people were involved in that also. Some of them are convicted, some of them are out on bail. Tab media ke muh mein dahi jam gaya tha. I will tell you, I will not hush things under the carpet when it comes to Badlapur. But the difference between, say, a Badlapur and a Bengal is this. In West Bengal, Sandeep Ghosh, who's at the epicenter of the controversy, is being mollycoddled by the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. In the case of Badlapur, the school principal, the vice principal, sanitation workers, 5 teachers, and the school itself has been made a co-accused under Section 19 and Section 21 of the POCSO. And the last point is this, very important. Let me please, Sahil, you will get your turn. Thank you. I just have this to say, Rahul. People say development doesn't make too much of a difference to voters. It does. It was way back in 1961 that Pandit Nehru had actually originally envisioned what we call today the Mumbai Trans-Harbour Link project. It took 62 years for the BJP to consummate it and to kickstart it. And
Anish, do you concede that this money into women's bank accounts, everyone we speak to in Maharashtra say, building on what happened in Madhya Pradesh, they've implemented this scheme and to some extent it is working because women have benefited and the money is coming straight into their accounts?
Rahul, I will tell you about a protester in Badlapur who has said that I will give the government 2,000 rupees but keep the women and children of Maharashtra safe. It is an insult to the people of Maharashtra to think that they can be bought for 1,500 rupees a month. The government is not doing anybody a favor. This is precisely the problem in Maharashtra. The BJP's rhetoric, the Mahayuti's rhetoric is that they're doing the people of Maharashtra a favor. ये कोई उपकार नहीं हो रहा है. पैसे आपके जेब से नहीं आ रहे हैं. The money is coming from the taxpayer. It's a government scheme, but they tout it as if they are God incarnate who's giving people of Maharashtra.
Will you carry forward this scheme?
The Mahavikas Aghadi has specifically said that the scheme will be carried forward in a reformed manner which ensures fiscal stability. You just had a program before this which showed how Himachal Pradesh fiscal stability is under threat. Maharashtra is the most fiscally irresponsible state in the country today because the government has lost any and all sight of fiscal responsibility in the pursuance of these schemes. They're taking money out of Adivasi welfare and putting it into Ladli Behna.
That is a lie. Let Susie Ben Shah respond. Are you concerned that, what's happened at Badlapur and now with this statue collapse, that some of the positive hawa that you were trying to build in Maharashtra through the direct cash transfer into women bank accounts, the good work there has been undone by these twin episodes?
Both the incidences. Very, very sorry. We are equally anguished, whether it be the Maha Aghadi or the Mahayuti, every leader. Now, how is the difference? In Mahayuti, the moment we saw that there was a dereliction of duty, as far as the police is concerned, the principal is concerned, we swung into action without fear or favor. I myself was there at the school, and we have come up with a report as well. Secondly, about the banners and posters at the protest, it was absolutely stage managed, completely.
This is exactly where the government will fall in.
Vandalism at its best at the cost of public property. So let us get the perspective right. As far as Shivaji Maharaj is concerned, what are the contradictions in Maha Aghadi? Where was Sri Sharat Chandra Pawar for 40 years? He never visited Raigad, the Samadhi of Shivaji Maharaj. It was only when he released the Tutari that he went there. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Savarkar ji is the...
Ma'am, but do you accept that this is massively... One second. She's your ally, let her speak. यही तो problem है, ally कोई नहीं बोलने दे रहे आप, बोलने तो दो उसको. No, 1 second. Susie Ben Shah, do you concede that the statue which was unveiled in 2023, the manner in which it has collapsed has really touched an emotive nerve in Maharashtra and is now being used by the opposition to showcase what they think is wrong with the way Maharashtra is being run? Who do you blame? Who do you think is responsible for the collapse of this statue, and it's happened on your watch, and this is mighty embarrassing?
Yeah, we are equally anguished. I don't want to go whether the contracts were given to Navy or anyone else. We have risen to the occasion. 2 committees have been established. One to look into the reason why it collapsed, and the second to erect a new structure. We are sorry it happened. The Prime Minister today announced that he was extremely sorry and apologized to all Shiv Premis across India and across Maharashtra. Lastly, today is a very historic day. Today we should be talking about the Vadhavan Bandar, the port of Vadhavan, where 75,000 crores and 12 lakh jobs are given to Maharashtra. While there might be a little protest here and there, but we are confident as a Mahayuti government that we are going to make sure that this little protest that we have is going to be arrested.
Okay, I'm out of time. Yes, okay, very quick final word. Sanju Verma, go for it. There's lack of coordination between the allies. That seems very clear. Susie Ben Shah, you've spoken for so long. Now let your alliance partners speak.
Thank you.
The Sharad Pawar faction is quiet. The Eknath Shinde faction and the BJP are speaking over each other, reflecting the lack of coordination in the alliance. Let us speak. 20 seconds.
Rahul, first and foremost, there is no lack of coordination between Susie Ben and me. इतना तो तू मैं चलता है, because that's the nature of the beast on prime time debates. तो आप झगड़ा मत करवाइए, please. I just have this to say. Rahul Gandhi says Veer Savarkar Deshdrohi tha. Veer Savarkar is a traitor. Veer Savarkar begged in front of the Britishers to ensure his freedom and that, he should not be incarcerated. Veer Savarkar, for anyone who has an iota of knowledge about Indian history and basic common sense will know, Veer Savarkar is the greatest follower of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. If you are humiliating Veer Savarkar 24/7, if you are undermining the credibility of Veer Savarkar 24/7, you have no business talking about...
Is this not problematic, Anish, for the Congress to say that Veer Savarkar was a coward and a traitor?
Rahul, when the government has no answer, they bring up Veer Savarkar. I will leave it at that. The people of India will decide that should Veer Savarkar be brought up.
Okay, so we're out of time on this broadcast. We were able to cover a lot of ground. And ultimately, this is just the beginning of the Maharashtra match. Sahil and his team have a lot of work to do, because this, make no mistake, there is Haryana, there's Kashmir, there's Jharkhand. All those states are important in their own localized context. But Maharashtra really is the big one. What happens in Maharashtra will determine what happens in the immediate aftermath in national Indian politics. And that's really what is at stake. And the Prime Minister knows that, the BJP big guns know it, which is why he apologized for the collapse of the statue. There's one localized statue collapsing in one state. Prime Minister has nothing to do with it. Yet he apologized because he knows what's at stake in that big battle in Maharashtra. Nobody will cover an Indian election in quite the way